Hi everyone, my name is Zachary Roland Anthony. I belong to the Faculty of Creative Industries in UTAR. I belong to the media department, and because of my experience in advertising prior to education, I teach a lot of subjects which is related to the area of creativity and writing. And I've been in UTAR for more than 16 years, coming up to my 17th year in 2022. My workload and responsibilities in UTAR as an academic staff demands me to be at my very best for my students, which means in class I have to be at my superior best in my area of teaching. I'm also a person who ensures that students leave appreciating the subject more than just gaining knowledge. Hence, there's a little bit more effort that needs to be done. As a member of the Faculty of Creative Industries, I have my administrative duties to do. And as an assistant professor in the university, I also am demanded to do research and writing. Currently, I'm writing my 2 books, which I really hope will be published by the year 2022. In the last 2 years of my teaching, especially doing it online, it's been a fantastic experience, something that I've never dreamt I would do in my entire life, but now has become part of my norm. I enjoy teaching it because it's something new for me. All I can say is I love the experience, but it comes with change, and change means effort. The benefits of teaching online as compared to in-person mode basically means that I have to find ways of ensuring that my students are in touch with me virtually. And I think that demands a different skill, unlike the time when we are in class. In class, the classroom is your stage, but how do you transfer that onto the computer? How do you make the computer your stage? So this is where I've learned skills of trying to relate with students, ensuring that students are able to be in touch with me in the ways that I teach, in the knowledge that they receive, and overall their satisfaction. The drawback is, of course, the connections that Wi-Fi brings along with it. And with our bad weather, which we have experienced in recent time, it has become kind of a challenge to ensure that online teaching is done in the best way possible. This definitely adds to my stress. As far as mental health is concerned, for me, it means the condition and the situation of your mind in this current time. For me, mental health is so important because it defines all the behavior and even our character comes with our mental health. Our ability and our output all belongs to the scope of mental health. If our mental health is superior at a given time, we are able to fulfill a lot of achievements. But life comes with huge amounts of challenges, especially in today's time. The pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, has impacted mental health more negatively than positively for a lot of people, even for me, as I would like to be positive most of the time. But being a human being, it does impact me in the negative way quite often. And it's only natural, so I accept it, but I try to get out of it. The significance of mental health on an academic staff like me, and along with me, many others who teach in the university, it is an essential ingredient. We can never perform, we can never think. Our cognitive skills or cognitive ability will definitely be discounted if our mental health is not at its best. I've spoken to friends of mine who are going through a terrible time, and they tell me that their mind is not thinking right anymore. So in their performance as an academic staff in recent time, it's not been the best. And this has a huge negative impact. So yes, mental health and academics, they go hand in hand. Mental health, a topic that I've discussed with my colleagues and even with my bosses, and we all feel that it is important in this time to be a little bit more considerate towards those who are feeling it a little bit more in a negative way. So we all believe that mental health is essential. The best mental health is essential, especially for us dealing with young people, dealing with our colleagues, dealing with our bosses. We need to always be at the very best, or else it will affect the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we act. Depression, anxiety, and stress. As far as I'm concerned, depression comes with stress that you cannot handle, problems that affects your mind. That goes the same with anxiety. And stress seems to be the deploying factor for me. I'm no mental health expert, but I'm just saying that stress has a lot to do with the depression and anxiety levels of individual. If you ask me if this is important to keep track of, to realize at least, I find this to be an essential area. I would say that those are things that I don't know. Quietness, maybe being extra quiet, that would be an indication, especially for someone who talks a lot. Change of habits in terms of your eating, in terms of your sleeping. As an academic staff, I believe in the classroom, in this current situation online, you feel like it's a chore teaching. It's a huge challenge to teach when something like this used to be something that you were passionate about. So for me, I think these are the red flags. And I've heard many of my friends indicate these things to me. We have to be extra sensitive to whatever is happening around us, to those who are close to us, and to those who even work with us. It's no longer an individual task. It is, I believe, teamwork. As far as UTAR, I think in recent time, I've been hearing a lot about if you have problems, especially in terms of your mental health, seek support for counseling. But UTAR is doing its best, reaching out to us in our monthly meetings or through our HODs. There seems to be better connections, better, I would say, relationships. I can see that relationships have grown to be better in this current time because people are becoming more sensitive that if it's not you today, but somebody else, it may be you tomorrow, and somebody else may need to come in and step in to support you. So I always encouraged, in fact, I've seen this also happening, that friends of mine, my colleagues, we try to get in touch through WhatsApp, through a phone call, through Zoom. And now that things are easing off a little, we are still trying to reach out physically as much as possible, but being safe, of course, with the SOPs. But more importantly, I think reaching out with technology has really helped. I myself have attended some online parties just to make ourselves feel good that we are still in touch, we still support, we still care, and it's helping quite a bit. As for me, self-care strategies that I've begun to incorporate is, of course, reading, keeping in touch with positive material. I myself write a lot of quotations. I express myself in positive sharings on Facebook or Instagram. And this has actually helped a lot of my friends on Facebook, and they keep telling me, don't stop, Zach. We feel good. So for me, by helping others, I'm helping myself to be positive. I'm also an artist. So in my free time, I do a lot of my artwork. I challenge myself to finish work much quicker than usual. And during this pandemic, I've been able to create some very good artwork, which I've been able to sell. Not making millions, of course, but at least to satisfy my talent in the art world. I would suggest more keeping in touch is the best way to build support. Management, colleagues, each one of us needs to play a part. It's not about just the staff. It's management stepping in to show that they really care. In these difficult times, people have gone through adverse mental changes, sometimes on a regular basis, and usually on a negative note. So we have to reach out at all levels to show that we care, which means we have to up the tempo. We are doing it, but we need to improve it by a lot more. UTAR is supporting us in this transition. I believe training is being offered, but I think it is now very much in the initial stages. Our HODs are keeping us in check positively, supporting us with questions that we may have, the problems that we may potentially come across. They are able to give us some support, some answers. I think that is a good start. Of course, this has to be on a long-term basis because many may break down because change brings a lot of other adverse amendments to our mind, to our action. Are we prepared for it? Are we ready for it? That is the question. So as much as I sound like everything seems okay, it is there for me to see in this coming months. My suggestions to mental health is to always have something to de-stress, hobbies to de-stress, pastimes to de-stress, things that don't cost much money. I mentioned art, cooking, and so on, but each individual may have their own. Gardening, writing positive or sharing positive vibes in these negative times. I think that is one of the best ways to keep our mental health in check. Listening to music enhances our mind, our soul, a lot of things. I think it's individualistic. What works for you is the best to incorporate into your life. And as I mentioned many times in this interview, it is not just a short-term thing that we are looking at. It's a long-term thing. The new normal has promised us changes. Some are accepting it, some are not. Some will never. Hence, they have taken drastic measures on themselves. Let's not get into that. Let's always look for hope. Let's look for a great future. The new year is dawning upon us. I believe with new year comes new blessings, new potential. Let's work towards it. We always want to start well. Let's start well, maintain it with great mental health.